Yo Bodgers, and have a look at the Mini. Yeah, I've stuck the headlights in, done a bit of random crap whilst they've been not very well unfortunately, but whatever. They're not functioning yet, but I have done the wiring in the back ready to connect up to the wiring in there. We'll get back to that in a sec. What I've also been doing is the door. This is the replacement door, or the one that was on it originally got swapped over, if you remember. It's the one that's been gutted by someone previously, so I'm going to try and cut these edges out a bit better. And I've also cut this one out of the scrap door. So the idea will be to do that and weld them in. So I'm going to have to try and cut it out as similar a shape as I can around the corners, because obviously if I tried to stick that on it wouldn't line up. But yeah, you get the idea. It's probably going to be, like I said before, impossible, but if I cut these edges off a bit neater, we'll try. Like I say, and then try and get this to fall into place. And yeah, wishful thinking probably, but that's the biggest project we've got going. It's starting to look like an actual Mini now. Totally forgot, got a fuel cap as well, so now it doesn't stink of petrol in here, which is also a win. And no one can hopefully steal my fuel. I mean, that probably wouldn't be that hard to break into, let's be honest, but yeah, cool. This window's still got to go in. We've got a bit of figuring out with that. A subscriber of mine did point out I have put the seal in the right way around, so it's just a case of squashing it and probably readjusting these, because I don't know whether it's different between different models or what, but it doesn't seem to quite line up where these mounting holes go, so I'm going to re-drill some and we'll make it work. We'll get it in there. Inside here, not much has changed. Started to cut out a piece of wood for the dash there, and that's going to slot in. Yeah, that's going to be another story altogether. Alright. Got a bit more door done. Yeah, I gotta set my name inside there, you know. Future-proof it, whatever. Yeah, tricky as hell. Managed to cut it out. Let's see how well this is going to go in. That's the correct way. Alright, need to see if we can slot these nails in. I mean, this is never going to be perfect, let's be honest. That, actually, this is pretty rough. Yeah, a little bit out. Trying to judge the same distances. Pretty difficult. Just try not to cut my fingers off. That's not too bad. That's alright. This bit might need a bit more like rounding off. Trace them down. That line's pretty good. Yeah, so it's kind of a bit of a gap on this side as well, so you have to just work it back and forth. Try and get somewhat of a similar gap. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm literally going to tack it and then we'll worry about the rest, like if we can fill in the gaps after. But the main sort of difficulty is going to be bolting the glass. I'm going to try and bolt the glass into the frame, put it in, wind it up, see if it goes in straight, tack it, and then yeah, hopefully it'll somehow work out. Let me try and get the glass in and we'll see how it goes. Now in theory this should be easy to put the glass in rather than dick around with it inside the whatever, because I can do it sort of internally, externally, and what the right word it'll be is, who knows. Anyway, so I bolted this through, mechanism in the correct way. The glass then, I'm careful, I've got a couple more bolts to go back in. The glass then can sit roughly how it's supposed to sit. Hopefully I've got that the right way. These little ball runners, you can kind of actually see how this works now. These things will slot inside this groove. Oh, supposed to anyway, like so. I imagine I'm going to have to push it that way and sort of back in. I can do that on camera. We're going to try. All suffering just for you. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see. So he will go up like that, slot over the top. I'm going to cut my fingers, aren't I? You can see it. Ugh, it's not going to happen. Yeah, drag him anyway. These two get dragged on these this way until he's roughly in the right position, and then we'll feed him up to the door. Let me just slap that together. Alright, got that side on. We'll try and real time as much as I can. You can kind of see how he's going to go. Let's see, would he drag or would he cut my fingers off? Oh yeah, there you go. So, slot along, and that's basically all that holds the door glass in. Crazy, right? So now I'm going to put it in position. Again, we've got me on my own here, so we'll put it in position and we'll put the glass all the way up, and we'll see how well it could or couldn't hold in. I was thinking I might have to wedge something inside the door to sort of hold it together. How am I going to get back out if I do that? Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll stick it in there and we'll see what it looks like in a sec. Alright, loosely in place. I mean, I've got a bit of adjustment to do. There's a big old gap here, etc. I'm trying to do this very carefully because this is razor sharp currently. Glass is fed sort of underneath and through the little groove, and then we're going to see. I imagine this might actually just push down because there's nothing actually holding us in, but yeah, that's not possible. Alright, let me roll this up by hand and then we'll see if it'll work. Alright, there we are. In theory, it sort of worked. I'm going to have to, like I said, tack it into place, but the glass is most of the way up. It's not quite all the way in, and the frame might need to be bent a bit just to get it to go in perfect, but that is good enough for me to take the gamble of grind a bit on the corners now, spot weld it, and we'll see if I can get the mechanism to go up and down on its own. Hopefully, if not, we're in deep trouble down. Right, loosely tack welded, dreadfully by the way. Yeah, a couple of bad ones, but whatever. The glass is in. It moves, so that's kind of good, but it does not look like it's going in very level, as in it's pushing back over there on that side. Always knew there'd be a problem with this, so yeah, we're going to have to bend the door frame and stuff, but in theory it works. Oh god, I forgot how heavy that's going to be. Let's stand him up and see how bad it is. Oh shit. Oh yeah, there we go, look. So it's come out of the runner somewhere, and you can push it back. I think once I get it in place like this, and maybe it'll stay like this. If not, then so be it. No one will ever open the passenger door. But I mean, technically it's better than it was before. Yeah, we'll see what it looks like after, but probably another video. I need to go rest, I'm dying, but yeah, in theory, technically the door is now complete. You'll see when it's welded next time up. Like and subscribe. Here we go, just a final pushback, because I know someone will be like, that's dreadful, blah blah blah. Yes, I gotta put the rubber seals in there, and when the glass is all the way to the top, it's perfect. So like I said, maybe we can bend the frame, or once it's all welded in, perhaps it'll go up. Worst case, it'll wind up, which it does. You might just have to give it a bit of a squeeze and a bit of a helping hand at the top end, but yeah, it worked. We've got glass, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.